So we know a few different data types now. We know short, we know int, and we know double. Now let's use a built-in function called size of to check out how big in these each of these are in memory, right? So this is the code that we will use for that. We're basically calling size of on each of the data types, and we will try this out. So we make a copy of this, and then we'll go to our IDE. And here we have the old hello world example, and we will paste these three lines in the body and run it. So what you'll see is you got 2, 4, and 8 for these, which is basically 2 bytes, um, 4 bytes, and 8 bytes. So a short is 16 bits, an int is 32 bits, and so on. So this affects what is the largest number each of these things can hold. So going back, a short can the large number a short can hold is 32,767, while an int can hold a number north of 2 billion, right? So what would happen if we had a short and we assigned it this value and then we incremented it by 1? Would it still be able to hold that number? What result would we get? So I'm going to try that out. And here's a little code that I've cooked up for that. I have a short that I've assigned to the biggest number a short can hold. I print it to make sure that it is actually validly holding that. And then I increment it by 1. And then I print it again. I want to see what happens. So let's try this out. This should be interesting. I'll make a copy of it. I'll go back to the IDE. Now I'll replace our earlier lines with this. So let's run this and see what it prints. So you see the first value is as expected. It can indeed hold the maximum number. But then after we increment it by 1, you get something very unexpected. It somehow has become the largest negative number uh, a short can hold. And that's because of the limited size of the memory for what a short is. Now going back, uh, what would happen if we mixed int and short? So this is another interesting example. I have created a short, and then I've created an int, and I have initialized it to the number 65,534, certainly within the capacity of an int, but too big for the short, right? So I print that int to make sure that that is valid, and then assign that value to the short, and I print it. And I'm curious what would happen there. So let's go and copy that and go back to the IDE and replace the code there. So let's do that and run it. And what we see is we get something more unpredictable. We get a -2 for this, completely not something that was expected. And again, that is because of the smaller capacity of the short. Now let's go back again and try yet another example. What if we mixed decimals and integer data types? This is my example for that. I have an integer which I haven't initialized, and I have a double which I've initialized to 3.14. And then I print my double, and I use the double to set the value of my int. Now an integer can't hold decimal numbers, so that should be interesting what happens there. So I will copy that. I will go back to my IDE, right? And I will replace the body with that, and we'll run it. Now you notice that it has some kind of a truncating effect. So it did print the double fine, but then after setting it, I see that it's printed a 3 and kind of lopped off what was behind, what was after the decimal point. So the lesson here is that we generally do not want to mix the data types because we'll get unpredictable results.